Disneyland Paris is arguably the least talked about Disney park in the entire world, but we are here to change that. Today, I am taking you on a full tour of both Disneyland Paris parks. Disneyland Paris opened in 1992 and has long been discussed as one of the most beautiful Disney parks in the world, but probably the least talked about at the same time. This park is a bucket list destination with its world-famous attraction shows and theming, but the rumors are the food is questionable. There are 5 lands in this Disney park, and we are going to break them all down so you know where to eat, what to ride, and where you can shop. Starting first with Main Street USA, which is right here behind me. I'm technically at the end of it, but Main Street is where you're going to enter the park, and you would argue you're going to see some of the most crowds here. There's also cars driving. This is the ultimate place to snack, sip, and shop when you're here in Disney, but it can be pretty crowded, as you can kind of see behind me, but you get really cool castle pics. So let's break down everything you can find in this land.
Here in Main Street USA, one of the main things you're gonna do on this land is head to the shopping spots. There are different spots like the Emporium, Disney Clothers, Main Street Motors, Lily's Boutique, Disney & Co., Boardwalk Candy Palace, Plaza West Boutique, the Storybook Store, and you can even get a haircut thanks to all the Dapper Dans. It's called Dapper Dans Haircuts, kind of in the name. There's more shops than we've even listed here on Main Street, and it's just going to be a lot of your traditional Disney merchandise. The land isn't just about shopping, though. You can actually find 3 main attractions here, including the Disneyland Railroad, horse-drawn streetcars, and the Main Street vehicles. To dine, you have plenty of options, from Plaza Gardens Restaurant, Market House Deli, Casey's Corner, the Gibson Girl Ice Cream Parlor, Cookie Kitchen, Cable Car Bake Shop, Victoria's Homestyle Restaurant, The Coffee Grinder, The Ice Cream Company, and Walt's an American Restaurant. Some of the most notable Main Street bites are going to include hot dogs from Casey's, the rotisserie veal at the Plaza Garden, the delicious ice cream from Gibson Girls. During your trip, you can also grab a glass of champagne on Main Street as you shop, stroll, and snack along. This is one of our favorite things to do and arguably one of the most iconic things to do in Disneyland Paris.
Next up, we are heading into the Wild West with their version of Frontierland. There's a lot of things to see here. Some of it may feel familiar, some of it may be new to you, and it arguably has one of this park's most popular attractions that I know we are all so excited to try out.
There are several attractions here in Frontierland. First is Big Thunder Mountain, the big thrill coaster that we all know and love. Over at Phantom Manor, it's their own twist on the Haunted Mansion. They also have the Rustlin' Roundup Shootin' Gallery, and you can even hop on the Thunder Mesa Riverboat Landing, and your kiddos can even burn off some steam at the Frontierland Playground. To dine, there are several items here. There's the Silver Spur Steakhouse, Casa de Coco, the Lucky Nugget Saloon, Cowboy Cookout Barbecue, Last Chance Cafe, and Overland Trail Cafe.
All right, we went through the Wild West. That was really cool, but are you ready for a real adventure? Because we're headed to Adventureland. Here you can find wind, you can find pirates, you can find plundering, you can find Indiana Jones, which is unrelated to piracy. There's a lot here. We're gonna check it all out. Get ready, buckle your seatbelts, and make sure all hands, arms, and feet stay inside the vehicle at all times.
In Adventureland, there are some star attractions. Pirates of the Caribbean, which is similar to the ones we know and love, the pirate-themed boat ride. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Peril. This is actually a coaster that goes upside down, offers a lot of thrills, and might look familiar if you've been to Tokyo Disney Sea. Le Cabane de Robinson is the Swiss Family Robinson treehouse walkthrough. Adventure Isle is a family walkthrough attraction, and Pirates Galleon is also an adventure walkthrough attraction. The Pirates Beach is described as a fun walkthrough for kids to play on, and Le Passage Enchanted d'Aladdin is a walkthrough attraction inspired by the movie Aladdin. Hungry after all of those walkthroughs? We've got you covered. You can check out Captain Jack's, the Agrabah Cafe Restaurant, Cool Post, Restaurant Hakuna Matata, the Colonel's Outpost Restaurant, and Cafe de la Brosse.
We've done a lot. Did you guys make it through? Grab any treasure? I kind of hope you did. Also, don't tell the cops if you did. I don't think that that's allowed. If you grab somebody else, if you pillaged and plundered, just don't let them know. Luckily, we can move on from the pillage and the plundering to the world of fantasy and whimsy in Fantasyland. Are you ready to have some whimsical fun?
Yeah!
I can't hear you.
Yeah!
All right, let's check out Fantasyland.
Here in Fantasyland, there are lots of rides, and I'm not trying to butcher the French language, so I'm going to list them by their English name. So let's dive right in. First is the Castle of the Beauty in the Sleeping Forest, which is, of course, that gorgeous castle that you see throughout the park, but especially when you first walk in. It's a Small World is that classic boat ride that takes you all around the world, but this one has some special nods to American culture. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs takes you through essentially what is Snow White's scary adventures and the story of Snow White herself. Pinocchio's Journeys does take you through the story of Pinocchio on the slow-moving dark ride. The Mad Hatter's Teacups, you sit in a teacup and of course spin until you can't spin anymore. Alice's Curious Labyrinth, that is a full maze that you can get lost in and spot some Alice in Wonderland characters along the way. The Lancelot Carousel is of course that classic carousel that you have to find in a fantasy land. Dumbo the Flying Elephant, you can hop on Dumbo's back and fly through the skies. Casey Jr. the Little Circus Train takes you above the land of fairy tales where you can see throughout Fantasyland on this fun little train ride. The Land of Fairy Tales is a slow-moving boat ride that might look very familiar to the storybook canals over in Disneyland. The Sleeping Beauty Gallery is what you can find inside the Castle of the Beauty in the Sleeping Forest, and it tells you the story of Aurora from Sleeping Beauty. The Lair of the Dragon is actually below the castle where you can actually see a real-life dragon that lives in the park. And finally, Peter Pan's Flight takes you over London and into Neverland on a journey with Peter Pan and his friends.
And now for the land you can't find in any other Disney park in the world. We're headed to Discoveryland. Did you guys like that? I don't know if you could understand me. My voice was really high and technically it was Mickey's voice. But for our final land here in Disneyland Paris, we are going to talk about a place that you technically cannot find in any other Disney park in the entire world, and that is Discoveryland. I'm very excited. There's some cool stuff in here.
In Discoveryland, there are tons of unique thrills, but the most unique might be Star Wars Hyperspace Mountain, where you get to launch yourself into hyperspace with a thrilling takeover of the classic attraction. Might be my favorite in the entire world. It is easily the most unique Space Mountain, but it's not the only ride in Discoveryland. You can also find Star Tours The Adventure Continues, which is the Star Wars ride where you get to ride along through space with different stories and C-3PO. Buzz Lightyear's Laser Blast asks you to help Buzz Lightyear defeat the evil Emperor Zurg. Autopia, you can drive throughout Discoveryland and see different sights and points of view of the land. Mickey and his PhilharMagic Orchestra is a 3D show that takes you into different famous Disney films, along with Donald Duck as he creates some mischief. The Orbitron takes you on a high-flying rocket ship adventure. Le Mystery du Nautilus takes you through the actual Nautilus from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Finally, in this land, you can grab some fun bites at Cool Station, Cafe Hyperion, and Rocket Cafe.
So that takes the cake for Disneyland Park, but if you did not know, there are actually 2 theme parks here at Disneyland Paris Resort, so we are going to head to the other one. So don't turn away. We have a lot more to talk about, and it's really famous, cool rides. So stop, don't turn it off. Now we are here at the second park that you can find at Disneyland Paris Resort, and that is Walt Disney Studios. This is going to be the home of all the Pixar, Avengers. I almost said Marvel after Avengers. That's not right. Marvel, and soon to be the world of Frozen. A lot to see here, but mainly a lot to talk about. So we're going to check out what's actually here, what's sticking around, and what is on the horizon. The first lane you're going to hit when you enter this park is going to be called World Premiere Plaza. And you're going to find a lot of dining, shopping, and maybe even a really scary trip to the Twilight Zone here.
This is going to be the spot for shopping and entertainment. You're going to find shows like Together, a Pixar musical, Mickey and the Magician, Frozen, a musical invitation, and Stitch Live. For some high-flying or even high-dropping attractions, you can test out the Tower of Terror and the flying carpets over Agrabah. For a few bites, you can try the Hollywood Gardens restaurant, Searchlight, and Ice Cream Creations. Plus, there are tons of stores like Mickey's of Hollywood Boutique, Tower Hotel Gifts, Animation Boutique, and the Hollywood Jewel Box.
Next on our list, we're going to head into the world of Marvel here in Avengers Campus. Now, some of this might look familiar. It might even seem like you've been on it in Disney World, but you haven't, because technically it's a different ride, although it's the same ride system. We're going to break it down, so just hang on and grab your arc reactors, because everyone has one of those, right? I know I have mine in my purse.
You can check out Avengers Campus for some web slinging and world-saving fun, thanks to rides like the Avengers Assemble Flight Force, which is a high-flying upside-down coaster similar to a rock and roller coaster, and Spider-Man Web Adventure, which is similar to web slingers over in Disney California Adventure. Saving the world can be hungry business though, so you can chow down at spots like Stark Factory, Pym Kitchen, Super Diner, Fantastic Food Trucks, and Web Food Trucks.
Bonjour! Did you think I went to Epcot? I didn't. We're still in Walt Disney Studios Park. Because this is Worlds of Pixar. You've got Remy, you've got Nemo, you've got Toy Story, you've got the Cars. There's a lot in here. We're gonna show it to you, and it's all one big land, like a melting pot, like a cooking pot full of cheese and Cars parts.
Inside World of Pixar, there are some pretty famous attractions that can be found over here, like Crush's Coaster, which is a high-flying coaster adventure and one of the most popular rides in the entire park. Cars Road Trip, which is a slow-moving trip where you get to see some familiar faces like Lightning McQueen and Mater. Ratatouille, which is the original version of the really fun adventure ride we have over in Epcot. Toy Soldiers Parachute Drop, the RC Racers, Slinky Dog Zigzag Spin, and Cars Quatre Rose Rally. After all this fun, you might be a little bit hungry, so you can check out Bistro Chez Remy, which you may or may not see a video for on the channel coming soon, the Laugh and Go food cart, and the food stands throughout the Ratatouille section of the land.
You might think, wow, that's kind of small, and because right now it is. There are major changes coming, there's a lot of construction going on, and the park is even getting a new name. Let's talk about it.
First, the park is becoming Disney Adventure World. That's right, they are changing the name of this park. This is not the first time this has happened, but it is the first time it has happened in Disneyland Paris. Disney has not confirmed when they will officially switch to the new name, so keep your eyes peeled. A brand new World of Frozen Land is set to open in spring 2026 with familiar rides like Frozen Ever After set to open. They are also adding Adventure Way, which will lead to the new world of Frozen, and will feature new rides like the Up-Flying Carousel, Rapunzel's Tangled Spin, and themed garden inspired by Disney Animation's Tangled and Pixar's Toy Story. Why stop there though? There's also going to be a new Lion King land, which will be the first of its kind, with an all-new attraction blending a spectacular water experience with a state-of-the-art audio animatronics technology that will plunge guests into the heart of the Pride Lands, where Simba will await them for an unforgettable adventure complete with iconic songs from the 1994 masterpiece. We do speculate that it looks quite a bit like Tiana's Bayou Adventure over in Disneyland and Disney World. Plus, a new nighttime spectacular will debut on the Central Lake and above. There you have it. That is our full walkthrough of Disneyland Paris, so even if this isn't your house, you're gonna know your way around this home.